Welcome back to the channel. It's Uncle Roig. Today we're going to talk about the 5 steps to financial prosperity. These are the things that helped me along the way, and I just want to share them with you. Let's get started. First step here, changing your mind and your thinking. You have got to start thinking differently about money. Start thinking differently, about your life. Maybe even dream a little bigger than what you're doing. And that part, kind of segues into, step number 2. But before we go there, it took me 2 years to get my mental right to even understand what to do with money and then how to multiply it and then how not to be a slave to it. So that's like some huge things that, again, got to take into consideration. Whether you start reading books, following people on YouTube, or just getting around some wealthier people so that you can start to learn something new versus what you've just been taught and told. If it keeps failing over and over again, believe me, you've got to try something different. I had to learn it the hard way. It took me 15 years to figure it out. Step number 2 here, it can't always be all about you. And what does that mean? I was in this mode for a long time, well, I'm just, trying to worry about me and my family. And again, that's selfish. It's me talking about me, and somebody had suggested, well, why don't you get rich? And I get rich, I don't need to get rich. And again, that's selfish because my church, my friends, my family members, my neighbors, there's a lot of people that are struggling that need it aside from me. So getting over the selfish part, I just be happy with, and that's another selfish thing because again, if you've got too much, you can go give it away. Believe me, the churches will always take it. Your friends, your family members, neighbors, strangers, okay, will always need some. So getting over the selfish part about me with it and take that out of the equation and start to open up your mind. If you're just worried about, maybe husband, wife, 2 kids, could you just imagine for a second if you had, let's say, a business where you had 100 employees that between them had 200 or 300 kids? What if you worried about 300 people instead of 3 people? I feel like, when somebody suggested that to me, it really opened up my mind because then you stop thinking about, well, I'm just worried about me and my family. If you had 300 people to worry about, you aren't out at the bars, you're not doing things to risk, your freedom, you're not out there blowing through money that you don't have. You start to think, of a higher purpose, which rolls right into number 3 here. The rich don't work for money. It's funny when people say the rich need to pay their fair share because majority of the rich don't work. If they don't go to a job and clock in, well, they're not working for money. If they just have assets that pay them, like let's say you're in real estate and I own 10 rental properties that all pay me, you can use a thing called depreciation. You can Google it and look it up. You can collect rents all year, and at the end of the year, you pay little, if no tax at all. People are confused by this, but this isn't a loophole. It's available for everybody. We're just never taught it. We're just taught to work hard, get the student loan, stay enslaved to the government your whole life to get a student loan you'll never pay off, get a job that keeps you just above broke, and hope that it all works out. So this is another thing again. Start researching some of these things for yourself just to open up your mind. Number 4, serving other people and doing charity. Tony Robbins had said this, I'm not living if I'm not giving, and that really struck a chord with me. When I actually started to give back and started to do charity, things in my life started to change immediately. Not a week, not a year later, immediately. And this is something too that I just want to stress to other people. If you are serving other people and bringing value to other people's lives, the money's going to follow that, okay? If you're worried about, well, I'd like to do that, but it doesn't make me enough money. You just start to give back and the good things start to happen. Try it, you'll see. Number 5, getting a financial statement. My Lord, I never even heard of that before. And there's a reason, because just work hard and save. You never run across, your assets, liabilities, and statement of cash flow, which if you don't owe anybody anything and you have money coming in, you have it's called a financial statement. If you're just working real hard and all your money goes out and you don't have any money, then we just check your credit score. But having an actual financial statement was something I strived for. It was something that, wealthy people have, and I just had never heard of it, never knew about it. So these are just a couple things I want to touch base on. Just again, planting the little seeds and just think about what if. A lot of people, don't want to change their thinking. But if things have been going wrong like it did for me for 15 years, I finally had to just give up the idea that, well, I knew what was best or I knew everything, and I didn't. So very humbling to bring myself back to the table and bring up a couple of things that really changed my life. So do me a solid, comment below, let me know where you're at. Fist bump the like button for me, subscribe, click the notification bell. Until next time, let me know what's going on in your world. Sheesh.